We want to be grown-ups this week. Number one, you need to answer this question. Am I a son or daughter of disobedience? Do you want to do the right thing, or are you just accepting, you know what, that's who I am. I don't care what God says or anyone else says. I'm going to do it my way. That's a son or daughter of disobedience. Number two, what good works has God prepared for me that you're not very good at? See, people say, well, when I get more spiritual, then I'll start doing the things that God wants. That's not how it works. You start doing the things that God has for you, and then you will get more spiritual because you'll become skilled in them. That's how it works. What good works has God prepared for me? Number three, what spiritual gift should I be working on? What spiritual gift should I be working on? Do you know? I should be able to come to anyone in the church and say, what are you working on this week in your heart, in your life, in your marriage, in your home? Like, maybe you don't have one for every list, but you'll be able to say, I'm working on generosity. I'm working on being more gentle, and I'm trying to figure out what that looks like. Here's my prayer life. I'm maybe memorizing this verse. Like, I'm working on this skill. I want to fix this in me. And I'm inviting the Holy Spirit to make that transformation. This is how it's going. This is how it's not going. Like, everybody should be working on something. Number four, who in my life/church is good at this skill? You know somebody who's really good at the thing you're terrible at. Maybe they don't go to this church. Maybe they're in your life. Maybe it's a family member or coworker, and you're like, they're the most gentle person I know, and I'm not gentle. Or they're the most joyful person I know. They're full of joy, and they don't let stuff kind of get them down. Or what's going on there? Or they've been through the most devastating, difficult thing I could imagine, and yet they haven't lost their faith. What's going on with that? They have this faithfulness that's deep in their gut and in their bones. Well, go talk to them. What's the point of having a church full of people if you can't use and abuse them? Come on, take advantage of it. Ask them, be curious. Don't assume they're just good at it because they were made that way. When you hear their story, you'll probably find out how they learned to be that way. Describe a situation that you're in. Hey, I'm going through this at work, or I'm dealing with this with my wife, or I'm having this feeling. What would you do in that situation? It seems like you handle these things well. Maybe I'm wrong, but what would you do in that situation? And then listen. And if they're freaked out, give them space. Be like, you don't have to answer me right now. Just think about it later. Shoot me a text. Talk to me next week. Let them think about it. What feelings would you have? How would you process this? How would you rely on God in this situation? And give them time to think about it. And I bet the Holy Spirit will speak to them to you, because that's what a church body is. Remember, grace is a workshop, not an amusement park. Take advantage of God's generous grace to learn how to walk in the Spirit. You don't have to stay stuck. Being a grown-up is easier. Once you learn how to follow Christ and walk in the Spirit, it's like tying your shoes. It gets easier and easier. So, don't struggle alone.